Hello Bunsen burners and welcome to another Spywall Center video. Today we're going to jump right into AI Dungeon 2, a free web game where it's a choose your own adventure story where you can do anything, but the AI is the narrator. Simply go to aidungeon.io to play. It's free. You don't even need an account, I'm pretty sure. So let's jump right into a nice fantasy setting. We're going to be a knight today and call ourselves Sky. And let's see where the AI takes us. You are Sky, a knight living in the kingdom of Larian. You have a steel longsword and a wooden shield. You are on a quest to defeat the evil dragon of Larian. You've heard he lives up at the north of the kingdom. You set on the path to defeat him and walk into a dark forest. As you enter the forest, you see a knight in shining armor. Hail, Knight of Justice. Why do you walk alone on this path? The knight says, if I make edits, is to make the story flow a little bit nicer. In this case, we're going to change our do button to say, I am en route to defeat the dragon of Larian. What about you? The AI doesn't know what to say. That was a good start. Let's retry. Come on, AI. It's not that hard. There we go. I am Sir Ignate of the, shall we say, unconventional 3rd Battalion, led by Captain Brosius. We are currently stationed here looking after the kingdom's reserves in the event of a dragon attack. Ooh. Fun. Alright. It's like... Alright, Sir Ignate. Are there any provisions you can spare for me? Because if we're on a journey, here we go. He offers to sell you some provisions he has hidden nearby. You agree to buy them and he says he will lead you to them. So in this case we follow him to follow Sir Ignate to the provisions. You follow Sir Ignate to his hideout in a small underground cavern where he sells you the provisions. You pay him and say you will return. Alright. I will continue on my quest to defeat the dragon of Larian. Continue on your quest, and eventually you come upon the north of the kingdom. The landscape is harsh here, with long stretches of barren tundra interspersed with icy forests. At times, you feel as if you've left civilization forever behind. This is especially true since you've gone further away from the road and closer to the forest. Still, you know it must be around here. You search all the villages, and all you can find are a few nomadic hunters and fur trappers. Alright, we're gonna search for signs of the dragon. You have no luck finding any traces of the dragon. You can only guess he has hidden himself very well, or has flown far away from fear of the kingdom's knights. You ask I will ask the locals about the dragon's whereabouts. The people of this region are mostly nomadic hunters and fur trappers. Yes, of course. They are a hardy lot, but they have heard of a dragon and are intrigued to learn more. One of them says that he has heard of a great white dragon living not far from the tundra plains. You leave to look for the dragon. Yep, here we go. That just is a repeated line. You thank him and set off to look for the dragon. If you press enter and it's blank, it will automatically do something for you. You walk for a few hours and it begins to snow, which makes you realize you should seek shelter. Make an igloo. You begin to make an igloo using snow. You can tell that it's going to be sturdy, but you have no idea if it will stay cool in this cold. You spend about 2 hours making the snow cave. You wish someone would have taught you how to do this in your last life. As you look at your handiwork, you realize night is falling. You sleep the night. I will sleep the night away. Away. You sleep fitfully that night. The cold is a constant problem, but being half naked and not using any covers at all is a bigger problem. You end up freezing most of the night. Boy. This can only go well. The sun is just peeking its head over the horizon when you exit the cave. The snow is still there, but melted slightly around the edges. And obviously a person has passed this way recently. Weird. You walk around for a bit, seeing if you can find any clues as to who came through here, but nothing is obvious and everything looks normal. You look at a cave. You look in the distance for the dragon. Still walking around, you see a rider's figure on horseback coming towards you. He's dressed in heavy armor and has a shield in his hand. He carries no weapons that you can tell. You hail him over. The rider approaches and you ask him who he is. He says that his name is Kit, and he is one of the king's knights sent to find you. He seems very hostile and ready to fight. Alright. Want to team up and kill the dragon? The knight is surprised by your statement, and you explain you have been looking all over for someone to help kill the dragon. Because the kingdom's knights are too busy with other major threats, such as bandits. Kit says he will help you team up, and the pair of you head back to the village where you parted ways with the merchant. Okay. On the way, Kit tells you that there are two other kingdoms, one in the east and one in the west. They make up the major powers of the land and have ongoing war with each other. You hear a loud roar nearby. Kit says the dragon has awoken. You run as fast as you can in the direction of the village. Kit is riding his horse full speed towards the dragon. You charge. I will charge. You ride as fast as you can towards Kit and seems to be gaining on the dragon. Kit reaches out and touches the dragon's flank, and something happens. The dragon lets out a roar and spits Kit off and begins to advance on him. Ooh. Kit tries to crawl away, but this dragon snaps at him and tears his arm off. He screams in pain, and the dragon snatches him up and begins to crush his body. You see Kit's head completely destroyed. Attempt to slice the dragon's head off with a single strike. A single sword slash. Sword slash. Next quest, slay the evil dragon Larian. Here we go. You move forward with your sword raised. You notice that the dragon's not paying attention to you at all, but rather is flinging Kit's body around like a rag doll. Come on. You can hear Kit's head still screaming as the dragon swallows it. You charge the dragon's swing and hit a few weak spots, but don't do much damage. Alright, I attempt to slice the dragon's head off again. You charge again and manage to hit the dragon's snout, but it doesn't even seem phased. You slash again, and the sword actually bites deeper into the dragon's tough hide. Ooh, progress. It roars and you step back. A small fire begins to burn on the snout, and the dragon seems to really start flinging Kit's body around, even his head. Alright. Don't know what to do here, so let's see what happens. Another roar from the dragon makes you take another step back. The sounds of bones cracking and flesh ripping is music to the dragon's monstrous ears, and it ignores you completely. It's time. You raise your sword and swing. The blade bites into the dragon's face, causing a deep wound. Blood begins to flow down its face, and it roars. Gloat! That's what the time calls for. The dragon attempts to switch fire at you, but you've already caused enough damage that his face is burning and it can't do anything but try to shake you off. You gloat louder. Yes. The dragon attempts to shake you off and succeeds in throwing you from side to side, but you are strong enough that you manage to grab a hold of the dragon's sword and rip it clean off. Stab the... Wait, no. And watch the dragon bleed out. You laugh at the dragon, which is now in so much pain that it loses all control of its body and falls on its side, rolling on the ground to try and shake you off. Climb a tree for safety. You climb a tree and watch the dragon tumbling in the dirt. It lets out one last roar before expending all of its energy and dying. Loot the dragon. Yes, it's just like a video game. You quickly loot the dragon's body and find a few pieces of gold, a golden cup, some magical looking amulets, a golden shield, and finally the horn. You take the horn and examine it. It's obviously magical, but you don't know what it does. You put it in your pack and then make one more search of the dragon, just in case. You don't find anything else but the gold, and after checking all of it, you put it in your pockets. You aren't sure what to do next, so you just start walking west. I will equip the golden shield. Stop for a moment and try on the golden shield. It fits perfectly on your arm, and it's heavier than you expected, but feels good on your back. You begin to walk towards the west. Alright. Examine the magical amulets. You quickly remove the magic amulets and examine them. You have no idea what they do, but they sure are pretty. Wear all of the magical amulets. You decide to wear all of the magical amulets. You usually don't keep all the Cynthia's items, so you suppose you should, just to be on the safer side. Alright. Report back to the king. Because we slayed the dragon. Turn around and head to the kingdom of man. When you arrive, soldiers immediately stop you and ask for identification. You show the one carrying the horn. Okay, yeah, we're gonna retry on that one. You walk back to the king's chambers. The guards notice you but don't stop you. You've obviously already gotten the permission from the king, which in turn got the permission from Dendrin. I show the king of Larian the dragon's horn. You give the king of Larian the horn you found. He seems pretty excited about it. He doesn't seem to know much about it, but he's going to have some mages check it out. He tells you, though, that the war is still going on and it's not over yet. He says he needs all the help he can get. You then ask him if he can be transferred to the front lines. Oh, no. He's puzzled for a moment, but agrees. You are now assigned to be on the front lines with the Eternals, who just so happen to be where you wanted to be to begin with. You lead a charge. You lead a charge. There we go. Look at the map of the Raskin frontier. It looks like there's a large group of orcs to the west. It would seem that they are preparing for an attack on some villages there. Charge directly into the orcs' main base. You take a large group of externals and ride directly into the orcs' face. If you get closer, you see the orcs preparing for battle. It would seem that they were expecting you as well. I charge! You ride into battle, swinging your blade as you always do. The orcs go down quickly, but there are just too many. Several orcs land their own attacks on you before you can even take a swing at them. Ooh. Soon you find yourself on the ground with several arrows in your pack. You roll out of the way as an axe cleaves into the ground where you once was. Kick the assailant's groin. I kick the assailant's groin. He thrusts her foot out and shoves their groin. The orc falls to the ground, grabbing his privates and rolling on the ground in pain. I run into I'm just gonna run. You see an orc charging directly towards you with a large axe in hand. You immediately start to run away from the battle. You start to make your way through the slower orcs who are attempting to subdue you. Roundhouse. Kick the orcs. As you're running, you grab a large orc in your hand. You kick the orc and he falls to the ground. Nice. You run and jump over him. Come on, you say. The orcs grab their heads and attempt to pull out their heads, but can't seem to do so. Dance! That's what this calls for. Dance! You begin to perform the ceremony of Dance of the Orcs. It's a silly thing, really. Just something the chieftains do to show joy in battle. Of course, you make it your own. Oh my gosh. As you perform the dance, you laugh and perform acrobatic moves to the orcs, and even throw some of the arrows that have been shot at your back into the faces of your enemies. Dance harder! You begin to perform the dance faster and harder. The orcs already hate the Empire for their fashions. You're not going to let them just massacre these people without a fight. Challenge the chief orc to a dance of death. To a dance of death. There we go. The chief orc looks on in confusion and pain from your antics as you dance around him. He tries to fight off your challenge, but soon he is on the ground attempting to perform the dance as well. Perform the finishing move. Perform the finishing move. As the chief orc is performing the dance, you leap over his back and pull your dagger. As he turns around, you stick your foot out and trip him up. The orc falls face first into the dirt. Sweet. The orcs are confused. You take your dagger and repeatedly stab the back of his head until it finally shatters. The orcs are confused by what just happened. Some are trying to help their chief, others confused about what to do next. Declare victory. You decide to finish off the remaining orcs. You perform the finishing move on the remaining orcs, but they proved too numerous. Several of them land attacks on you. It seems all your fighting was for nothing. When the dust clears, it seems you've died in a vain attempt to save the village. I think you know what this calls for. Is this? I think I can do this. The end. Yep. Alright, that was the story of the century right there. Ooh boy. We start off with defeating a dragon, then we charge into battle with some orcs, nearly got taken down, then challenged the chief orc to a dance-off, killed the chief orc, but that was still not a victory for us. So that went well for episode 1 of AI Dungeon 2. I'll probably make another one of these, but change the prompts, obviously, and do something a little different. So we'll see all the buns and burners next time, because the AI, there's no more story to do. We ended it. We did it. Mission accomplished. We have completed the mission. Yo, I am Spyball Center. I was Bessie Bender on the Xbox 360. It is gone now. I have gone on PC, because PC is Master Race, yes.